Have you ever felt like you were talking to a wall when arguing with someone? Or maybe you tried to explain how you felt only to be ignored or even have your words twisted. If so, chances are you were dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists are people with huge egos. They always think they're right, and they often don't care about how others feel. They can make you feel small, frustrated, and even doubt yourself. But here's the thing. There's one simple phrase that can instantly shatter a narcissist's ego in seconds. In this video, I'm going to share that magic phrase with you. This phrase won't just leave them speechless, it will also help you take back control in toxic situations. So if you're curious and want to learn how to use it, make sure to watch this video until the end. Chapter 1. What is a narcissist and why do they act the way they do? Before we dive into the magic phrase, it's important to understand who a narcissist really is and why they behave the way they do. A narcissist isn't just someone who loves taking selfies or enjoys being the center of attention. In psychology, narcissism is actually a personality disorder known as narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. People with NPD have an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for constant admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. They often believe they're superior to everyone else and deserve special treatment. But here's the twist. Deep down, many narcissists are incredibly insecure. Their grandiosity and arrogance are often just a mask to hide their fragile self-esteem. So why do they act the way they do? Narcissists thrive on control and power. They manipulate situations and people to maintain their sense of superiority. If they feel threatened or criticized, they might react with anger, defensiveness, or even gaslighting, making you doubt your own reality. Understanding this behavior is key because it shows us that their actions aren't really about you. They're about protecting their fragile ego. And that's exactly what we'll use to our advantage when we introduce the magic phrase later in this video. Chapter 2. Why is the ego a narcissist's weakest? Now that we understand what makes a narcissist tick, let's talk about their biggest weakness, their ego. The ego is like the fuel that keeps a narcissist going. It's what drives their need for admiration, control, and superiority. But here's the thing. Their ego is also their Achilles heel. A narcissist's ego is incredibly fragile, even though they try to make it seem unshakable. They can't handle criticism, rejection, or anything that challenges their self-image. If you've ever tried to point out a narcissist's flaws or mistakes, you've probably seen them react with anger, denial, or even blame shifting. That's because their ego can't tolerate the idea that they might not be perfect. This is why targeting their ego is so effective. When you challenge their sense of superiority, it throws them off balance. They don't know how to handle it because their entire identity is built on being the best or always right. And that's exactly what the magic phrase we'll discuss later does. It directly targets their ego in a way they can't ignore. But remember, the goal isn't to attack or humiliate them. It's about protecting yourself and reclaiming your power in the situation. By understanding their weakness, you can respond in a way that disarms them without escalating the conflict. Chapter 3. What is the magic phrase that destroys a narcissist's ego? Now let's get to the heart of the matter. The magic phrase that can instantly shatter a narcissist's ego. Are you ready? Here it is. That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it. Simple, right? But don't let its simplicity fool you. This phrase is incredibly powerful because it does three key things. It sets a boundary. By saying this, you're making it clear that their opinion doesn't control or define you. You're asserting your right to think and feel differently. 2, it refuses to engage in their game. Narcissists love to argue, manipulate, and drag you into endless debates. This phrase shuts that down because it doesn't give them anything to work with. 3. It targets their ego. Narcissists thrive on being seen as the ultimate authority. When you calmly say, "That's your opinion," you're essentially saying, "You're not the boss of me," which hits their ego where it hurts. The beauty of this phrase is that it's neutral and non-confrontational. You're not attacking them or trying to win the argument. You're simply stating a fact. Their opinion is theirs, and you don't have to agree with it. In the next chapter, I'll show you exactly how to use this phrase in real-life situations so you can see just how effective it can be. Chapter 4, How to Use the Magic Phrase Effectively. Now that you know the magic phrase, let's talk about how to use it effectively. The key to making this phrase work is how and when you say it. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you master it. Stay calm and composed. Narcissists thrive on emotional reactions. If you respond with anger or frustration, they'll use it against you. Take a deep breath, keep your tone neutral, and deliver the phrase calm. 2. Use it at the right moment. The best time to use this phrase is when the narcissist is trying to control the conversation, dismiss your feelings, or impose their opinion on you. For example, if they say you're overreacting, you respond, "That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it." If they say you're wrong, you reply, "That's your perspective, and I see things differently." Don't engage further. After you say the phrase, stop there. Don't explain yourself, don't argue, and don't try to justify your position. Narcissists love to drag you into debates, so by refusing to engage, you take away their power. 4. Practice in low-stakes situations. If you're nervous about using this phrase, start practicing in less intense situations. For example, if a narcissist criticizes your choices casually, try responding with the phrase to build your confidence. 5. Pair it with body language. Your body language should match your words. Maintain eye contact, stand or sit up straight, and avoid defensive gestures like crossing your arms. This reinforces the message that you're confident and in control. Here's an example of how this might play out in real life. Narcissist, you're being too sensitive. It's not a big deal. That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it. Narcissist, but you're wrong. Everyone else thinks so too. You stay silent or repeat calmly, "That's your perspective." By using this phrase correctly, you'll not only disarm the narcissist, but also protect your own mental and emotional well-being. Chapter 5, What to Do After Using the Magic Phrase. Using the magic phrase is a powerful first step, but what happens next is just as important. Narcissists don't like losing control, so they might try to push back or escalate the situation. Here's how to handle what comes after. Expect a reaction. When you use the magic phrase, the narcissist might react in one of several ways. They might try to argue or dismiss you further. They could become defensive or angry. They might even play the victim to guilt trip you. Remember, their reaction is not about you. It's about their ego being threatened. Stay calm and don't take the bait. 2. Hold your ground. If they try to drag you back into the argument, simply repeat the phrase or remain silent. For example, "Narcissist, you're so stubborn. Why can't you just admit I'm right?" You calmly, "That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it." Consistency is key. The more you stick to your boundary, the harder it becomes for them to break it. 3. Redirect the conversation. If the narcissist keeps pushing, try changing the subject or walking away. For example, "I've said what I needed to say. Let's move on. This conversation isn't productive. I'm going to take a break." This shows that you're not willing to engage in their games. 4. Protect your energy. Dealing with a narcissist can be draining, so it's important to prioritize your well-being. After the interaction, take time to recharge, whether it's through meditation, talking to a trusted friend, or simply taking a walk. Do something that helps you feel grounded. 5. Set long-term boundaries. Using the magic phrase is a great tool, but it's also important to set broader boundaries with a narcissist. This might mean limiting contact, avoiding certain topics, or even ending the relationship if it's toxic. Remember, the goal isn't to win against the narcissist, it's to protect yourself and maintain your peace of mind. By staying calm, consistent, and confident, you take back control of the situation. Chapter 6. Real-life story. How this phrase changed someone's life. To show you just how powerful this magic phrase can be, I want to share a real-life story. This is about Sarah, a woman who struggled for years in a toxic relationship with a narcissistic partner. Sarah's partner constantly criticized her, dismissed her feelings, and made every argument about how she was wrong or too emotional. She felt trapped, unheard, and exhausted. One day, after learning about narcissism and the magic phrase, she decided to try it. During a heated argument, her partner said, "You're overreacting, like always. You're so dramatic." Instead of defending herself or getting upset, Sarah took a deep breath and calmly said, "That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it." At first, her partner was stunned. He tried to argue back, saying, "You're just avoiding the issue." But Sarah held her ground and repeated, "That's your perspective." Over time, Sarah started using this phrase consistently. She noticed that her partner began to lose his grip on their arguments. He couldn't manipulate her as easily, and their fights became shorter and less intense. Eventually, Sarah gained the confidence to set stronger boundaries and even decided to end the relationship when it became clear her partner wasn't willing to change. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that you don't have to stay stuck in a toxic dynamic. By using this simple phrase, she reclaimed her power, protected her mental health, and took control of her life. If Sarah can do it, so can you. It might feel scary at first, but with practice, you'll see just how effective this tool can be. Today, we've explored how to deal with narcissists by targeting their biggest weakness, their ego. We started by understanding what makes a narcissist tick, then introduced the magic phrase, "That's your opinion, and I don't have to agree with it." We broke down how to use this phrase effectively, what to expect after using it, and even shared a real-life story to show its power in action. The key takeaway: you don't have to let a narcissist control your emotions or dictate your reality. You have the power to set boundaries, protect your energy, and take back control. Remember, dealing with a narcissist isn't about changing them, it's about protecting yourself, whether it's a partner, family member, coworker, or friend. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on handling difficult relationships and building emotional resilience. And if you've ever used a similar strategy or have a story to share, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. And remember, your voice matters, your feelings are valid, and you are stronger than you think. Until next time, take care and stay empowered.